Furthest hotel you can see.
Aye.
Up to the Haram, back to back.
Aye.
Back to back. The traffic is incredible, subhanAllah.
What was happening with that?
SubhanAllah. You know, you have to see it to believe it. I remember one Hajj we did it, and alhamdulillah we had a big four-wheel drive. We actually drove over the embankment because you couldn't get out. You just couldn't get out. You damaged your car a little because the embankment's a bit high.
Exactly.
But you know, subhanAllah, you couldn't get out.
It's got warm here, from one extreme to the other.
So, well, that's true. So.
Used to give your time for it to remain.
We're gonna go on. Oh, good, come
It's almost done, shall I say?
They on? I'm just checking. Dula? Dula? Can you just check if they can do recording of us now? Because we want to start. Tell us when it just starts.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Before we begin, tell me something your mum did when she raised you that was so good and beneficial that helped you as a Muslim. What did she do?
Well, that's a good question. That's a very good question.
Just to give your mum a good plug and make it a source of dawah, inshallah. Character, honesty, trust, morals, something like that.
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice?
Because when my mum and dad, they split up when I was very young. And then my mum, she more or less raised us. What she did, she raised us herself.
MashaAllah.
And even though she never had the money,
MashaAllah.
she still put herself in a situation where she tried to provide for us. Come Christmas, you know. And all the children are wanting the same things at the same time.
Yeah.
And at that time it was the Super Nintendo.
SubhanAllah.
And all my friends had a Super Nintendo. I said, I want a Super Nintendo. But my mum at that time, she wasn't working. She was too busy taking care of my brother and I. So, yeah, I remember she was, you know, for this Christmas we can't have very much. We thought, why can't we have very much? She said, I just don't have the money. I can't afford it.
MashaAllah.
But then on Christmas Day, it was there.
SubhanAllah.
Super Nintendo was sitting there waiting for us to play with it. And she was paying off that debt for a long time. She was again back in those days. She wasn't working.
SubhanAllah.
She had to borrow the money to.
Allah make it easy. SubhanAllah.
So
that's good. Good point.
You
Sacrifice.
So she really.
And patience.
Exactly.
Sacrifice and patience together. They go together.
Yeah.
They really do get together.
To provide for the children, no matter what they want, what they need. Alhamdulillah, she. And when you're young, you don't understand. You don't appreciate it. You know, it's not until you're a parent yourself you see your children. You're like, Dad, I want this. I want that. You don't need it. You know, it's like I'm not going to get you if you don't actually need it.
Yeah.
But alhamdulillah, man, she did. She really.
MashaAllah, barakallah.
Yeah, it was good.
MashaAllah. See, and even just the life experiences that makes you tough. When you go on, it makes you tough, and that toughness is an asset. People think it is a detriment to your character. Actually, it's always an asset. I mean, every time we see walk out there, you see those people who are raised tough.
Yeah.
Their Hajj is easy. They're cruising, you know. It's fine. The ones who are raised, you know, in La La Land and everything's really nice and cozy, they're just struggling the whole way, you know. So,
cheers.
Yeah, but it's a really good point. It's a really good point. Are these people rolling? They're rolling on camera. Inshallah, we don't know what's happening. Alhamdulillah. I don't want to start and get into it. How'd you go yesterday, Jamra?
It was good. Yesterday I actually left. I got there about Isha.
Oh, that's good.
The crowd. There was a lot of people.
It was flowing.
Aye.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, there was a lot just sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
Just staying in the kind of the minute area.
Yeah, hanging out. Yeah.
But actually, getting there and getting back, I didn't have to stop at all.
That hotel down there, up there?
No, the one
this way.
This one.
So long. That hotel, this one here, the cream one. If you turn around the corner there, straight up, straight up, straight down, shortcut.
Yeah, I'm actually try that next time.
Do that today if you can do it. It's easier,
Inshallah.
inshallah, it's easier. Because you go this way, you have to go right around, come back the ramp up to the top, adding another 20 minutes to your walk
Aye.
one way, so that's 40 minutes both ways.
Yeah.
This is a really good shortcut here.
Yeah, okay, I can see it now.
Yeah.
The way
So
that I've gone.
like that. That's pretty good. And it takes you straight to the end, so you can come up from the ramp there, or take the escalators up as well too.
Mm-hmm.
Did you use the escalators or the
No.
ramp? They're escalators, yeah. Amazing, aren't they? Just escalator after escalator after escalator.
Exactly.
It's amazing. Just the luxury that we have, you can't believe, subhanAllah. The luxury. All that technology, escalators, shading, lighting, makes it really easy. SubhanAllah. The other day, people were handing out stones and sharing stones and everything.
Were they,
It
yeah?
was wonderful, mashallah. Just that. They can't even speak the language, and they're just handing out stones and sharing out stones. It's a really nice experience. You know, and it's a fun part. And the kids, some of the kids who were on Hajj, they're enjoying the stone part, you know, stoning.
I was thinking that as well. The last time I came, I saw quite a few families with their children,
Yeah.
and these children were screaming and crying. But this year,
Well,
I have
it's
seen
smooth.
so many children, but
And
not
not
one
one
crying.
No, you can't even hear it in the distance.
Not one.
I'd say it's an amazing
They're
bliss
just so
this year.
peaceful looking. They're peaceful looking or they're asleep.
Yeah,
But I haven't seen
Not
one
one
child,
upset.
one
Wallahi, true.
baby upset.
so true, so true.
Alhamdulillah. I mean, I'm sure there are. I mean, there have been, but ones that I've seen, and I've seen
Yeah.
quite a lot.
And we've come by thousands a day, you know, and you haven't heard of one scream in the distance. It's amazing.
They had 4 children, and they must have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. You know, very, very toddlers,
Mashallah, mashallah,
and they're
mashallah.
just sitting so peacefully,
And loving it.
having their dinner, having their lunch,
Mashallah,
or whatever.
mashallah,
You know?
mashallah, mashallah,
And I thought, wow,
mashallah.
for people who bring their family,
It's tough too.
it's
tough.
Oh, such a test.
And you got to carry them, you got to deal with them, their food, their maintenance, and taking care of them and so forth.
Especially young children as well,
Wallahi,
having to
true.
clean
Yeah,
them
yeah,
and
yeah,
take
that's
care of
stuff,
them
all
as
that
well.
stuff.
You know?
And their rest, they get annoyed very easily. They want their little
If they don't
materialistic
get their
items,
sleep, then
yeah. Or their little goodies and their little snacks. They don't get upset.
Exactly.
But mashallah, and they're happy. You see in their faces, they're happy. I saw one little Haji. He was maybe like 3 years old, and his thing was falling off him, and it's so cute, you know. But he was happy.
Yeah.
He's doing it. He's doing
This
it.
tiny, small, like,
Yeah,
booted ram and
yeah, I
stuff.
know.
I've seen a few of those as well.
Yeah, but he's doing it, you know, subhanAllah. And he was walking it. He wasn't being carried. He was actually walking it. He was doing it. Tough little kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's one element that's missing, I think, in the Muslim Ummah, is that toughness and
Yeah.
be able to push the young people, push them to do things in life. Not just, you know, acts of worship, which are very important, but anything in life, to strive and push.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we get that element back. I think it's a real positive for the Muslims, a really big
Yeah.
positive. Many people don't focus on that in raising children to make them tough.
Mm-hmm.
But you see in Hajj, the ones who are raised tough, they just,
Piece of cake.
wow. You see the physiques of some of those people,
Yeah.
mashallah, they're just athletes,
Seriously.
mashallah. Mashallah. And they're loving it, and they're smiling, and they're not doing it like by bus, they're all doing it by foot.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing 4 or 5 hours walking a day by foot, and they're just smiling the whole way. Yeah, but alhamdulillah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing, mashallah. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Do you want a drink or something? I'm just going to go grab something.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
be back in a
gonna grab
second.
this.
You should give me a minute, inshallah. Okay, let's do it. Alhamdulillah, I've got someone to give me coffee, which is good. Makes it easy for me. So your story, your Abdurrahim story, you know, maybe some of our viewers don't know you, haven't heard your story at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think they would love to hear.
Sure.
One of our brothers from the north of the globe, in the colder regions, coming to this hot, you know,
It's like night and
difficult environment for people like you.
day. Extremely.
You know, you wish it was snowing, I think, more than anything else.
I would happily walk in the snow with Ihram, really.
So how do we start? Now, a bit about yourself, who you are, what you're doing for a living.
Well, as you know, I'm from Scotland.
Yeah.
I've been here for 7 years now. teaching in different universities.
MashaAllah. Around the
Teach-
kingdom.
Right, teaching
Yeah.
English. Before that, I was a high school teacher in Scotland.
Oh, MashaAllah.
Teaching in Scotland and teaching here is like, again, it's like night and day.
Oh, yeah, it is a world
Teaching
of
high school,
difference.
in high school,
and
anywhere.
I think half of them would struggle with your accent.
Exactly.
They're trained on the American accent more than anything else.
And yeah, so from Scotland, my father's from Ireland,
MashaAllah.
and my mother, she's Scottish. But I think my mum's family, she's,
Walaikum
Salam.
salam.
I think-
Jazakallah khair.
I'm sure my mum's family's got some Irish backgrounds as well.
Subhanallah, mashallah, mashallah. Yeah, if you want to, come inshallah.
So,
Married,
yeah.
got kids?
alhamdulillah, yep, one of each, boy and a girl,
Mashallah.
Abdullah and Asiya.
Mashallah, mashallah,
Yeah,
mashallah.
very young, so they're almost like twins, having a year
Okay,
between them.
yeah, yeah,
It's tough.
A lot of clashing.
They themselves don't fight so much. It's just that they've got different needs, and they want
yeah.
their needs met at the same time. And if Abdullah wants something, then Asiya's like, I want it too, but you just want it because he wants it, not because you want it.
This is
No.
welcome to parenting.
Oh yeah.
You just started with 2. Welcome to parenting. You know,
I know. Seriously.
I feel day ahead of you. You know, subhanallah, this is good. No, mashallah, mashallah. Okay, so here you're working as a Muslim and stuff and living it, and mashallah, I think you're enjoying the whole environment, especially the Hajj as well too. Before Islam, tell us about Abdurrahim before Islam. Who was he? What was he doing? What was his ambitions in life?
Coming from a Catholic family, it was mainly routine. You know, on a Sunday you go to mass, and even that, I was like, I have to get ready to go to mass. It was an effort. You know, it was an effort.
Yeah.
It was just you're young. I wasn't even interested.
Just to sit in the chair.
Exactly. Yeah, you sit and then you stand and then you kneel and then you shake hands and then you sit and you stand and you kneel and you sing a bit. And for me, I don't know. It was more like
Monotonous.
it was. Yeah. I mean, it was only once a week.
Okay.
You know, but still, when my mum and dad split up, on the weekends we spent our time with my dad. And my mum, she would try and enforce my dad, you have to take them to mass, you know, and da-da-da. Even for my dad, it's like, come on, get ready. I've got to go to mass today.
She was a religious push in the family.
She wasn't really religious.
No.
I don't know if it was just a kind of power struggle thing
All
between
right,
the
okay,
whole...
okay.
Exactly, you know. But I always believed. I always, like at night...
What do you mean by believe? I believe. What do you
believe
mean?
in God.
Okay, so that oneness.
Yeah. I mean, because like in mass, you hear Jesus' name mentioned a lot.
More like an
but not-
agnostic belief than anything else, yeah? Like the existence of God, but not understanding the concept? Or did you understand the concept of
No,
God?
yeah, I knew, God as God.
Alhamdulillah.
But when the Jesus aspect, I just didn't really understand what his real role was. Is he the Son of God? Is he God? What is he? I don't really know. But he was there.
Okay.
You usually see him, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, you see him like a baby Jesus and Mary's arms in the church and stuff.
You must think, and that's meant to be my Lord, my Saviour, in the hands.
Yeah,
The image doesn't fit.
it didn't, you know. It's a man, you know. So growing up, again Catholic, but when I became a teenager, going to mass was like, oh, okay, forget that.
Yeah. Not
That
exciting.
part of my
enough.
life is done now. I'm not going there again. I've no need to go.
You've grown out of it.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
No, because obviously, growing up, even going to my dad's house at the weekend, I didn't go as often, and because you're young, you want to go with your friends, you want to play, you want to go here and do that. So, going to my dad's at the weekend was like taking a chunk out of my week. I'm like,
Yes.
I don't want to be controlled. I want to do my own thing.
That's it. Independence now. You're a young man.
Exactly. You know.
Testosterone's going.
That's it.
You know,
Exactly.
you've got all these
own
ambitions and
thing.
take over the world and conquer this place and stuff. Yeah. So the thoughts started changing then. The thoughts started
So
changing.
yeah,
a
so I
lot.
didn't. But although I still believed, if you know, lying in bed or something, I think, oh God, please help me do
Yeah,
this. or that,
exactly,
you know.
exactly, yeah.
But then,
That innateness, really. the
yeah, it
innateness,
was.
innateness, yeah.
You know, believing in God wasn't a strange concept at all. But then I started really getting involved in like Ouija boards.
Oh yeah, it's a teenage pastime in the West.
Really, and it was
Anything
like
that's abstract. Horror
obsessive.
movies,
all that stuff.
demons, devils, the unseen world.
I loved all that stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
It's attractive to a lot of youth.
Yeah.
Because I think it's such a shift from the simple materialistic life, the mundane, up and down 24/7 type of existence.
I think also the Western world has that, it's like missing the spiritual aspects. They try to fill it with something else.
With anything, but for the young people, it's such a shift, and they don't have to do things extreme. Like they'll get in from normal country music into heavy metal or something like that too. It's like an extreme, and it's like a stimulus. So so you got into all those crazy things.
Yeah.
And you must have met a lot of crazy people in that group.
Actually, I was more or less the conductor.
Oh dear.
I was. They would all come into my house. Oh, people I don't even know. Are you the guy who does the Ouija board, speaks to spirits?
Yeah.
Can I come into your house and do it? I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
come in.
Come in.
Random people, But my first experience with Muslims was in high school. It was lunch. I must have been like 13 or 14 years old, and I was in the queue for lunch. And there was a guy in front of me, and he was buying his lunch. And then the woman who was serving him said, "Okay, do you want these crisps?" And he said, "What flavour are they?" He said, "She said they're beef." He said, "Oh, I can't have them." I said, "Why not? What's wrong with you?" He said,
Curiosity.
I'm Muslim. I was like,
What's it got to do with worship?
well, I mean, at first I'd heard the word Muslim. I was like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Eat the crisps. It's just a pack of crisps. He was like, no, I can't. So going through high school...
and it's stuck in your head, that idea.
Going through high school, he was the Muslim. But I never thought to even ask him anything.
What was his background? Where was he from?
He was mixed race.
The long one?
Just one of these.
What I think what we had is one of these long ones. You can take one of the long ones from the India maybe.
The project submission actually. The project submission.
And then I can put it like this.
Huh? One instant.
Maybe, Akhi, if you tell them, if you don't mind, Jazakallah khair, the coffee should be brought also because His Eminence is a governor actually. Yeah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum. Should you sit on the right or on the left? Yeah, the governor of what do you call it when someone is responsible for the water in a country?
Yes. Okay. Inshallah, don't worry. But how did they do this? How did they type this out?
I don't know how would that be.
Yes. So I hear.
Mayor, maybe?
I hear. I don't know. I just heard now
So I
from
was taking from your word was you.
Brother Tahir.
For the sake of America. Like, where's your ear?
Roughly,
Come back.
yes. Roughly. What kind of phone do you have? I mean, what kind of operating? Is it Android?
Which one?
Your phone?
Android.
Android. You should. Do you have a Hadith application?
It's
This
more
one
like
called
governor
Hadith
or
collection.
Like mayor. Mayor is
Very, very good.
Umda, but I think governor
You
is the closer.
you have. I'll go back to the home now. You have.
طيب إن شاء الله كذا أفضل.
In which language?
10, 12, 13 books of Hadith. Language.
Lingo.
What is this? It's like...
Coded language. I want to get into that.
Oh, no, but
Especially your love of language. You're a polyglot.
that's it.
So,
I was really intrigued about the language aspect. So every now and
Did you
then...
learn the meaning straight away? Did you look it up or did you ask them?
No, I didn't.
You just had the words in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the word Islam, I didn't even know what the word Islam
Meant.
meant. I heard it once or twice in their conversations, but I didn't really ask them, what is this Islam you're talking about? So I'd see them now and then, and one day I said, oh guys, let's go for lunch. They said, no, we can't, this is Ramadan. I was like, right, again, this is something alien to me. You have to fill me in, guys.
Tell me about what's happening.
So they told me about it, and I was like, you guys are crazy, man. Why would you do such a thing? A month? You're going to die, man. They said, no. Then they explained, when the sun rises, sunset. So I said, so what else can't you do? They said, well, as a Muslim in general, we don't smoke, we don't drink, no relationships with women before marriage.
Yes.
And I thought, do you do all this? They said, well, we try to stick to it as much as we can, but, some of it's hard.
The devil gets the better of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially teenagers.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the fitness has opened up so much in the West. That's really
of course,
easy to
especially
do.
living in Scotland, when you're
everywhere.
mixing with non-Muslims all the time. So I said, guys, you have to tell me more. I want to know more about
Intrigued now.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. See, that curiosity has moved from Ouija boards now into religion.
this. Serious?
Subhanallah.
I know it
I
was.
think it's your curiosity has driven you on this direction,
No, it has,
Which is
definitely,
really good,
so much.
mashallah, alhamdulillah.
So after a few days speaking with these guys, I went home and I asked my mum, I said, Mum, listen, I've got these new friends, they're Pakistani, and they keep using this word Islam. I think they're from Islam. They're from Islam.
Subhanallah.
I said, you know where it is? She said, I have no idea.
Where's this place? Look up on the map. Subhanallah.
So I went behind the couch and I took out the atlas and I opened up the atlas
And
and
index.
I'm like, Islam, 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 Islam. I said, there's no Islam in this. I said, where are these guys from? I said, I have no idea. And I actually, so the next day I said to him, I said, guys, where is this Islam you're from? They're like, what? What are you talking about? I said, yesterday I was looking at the atlas and I was looking for Islam and I couldn't
They
find
must
it.
have been laughing, put it on the floor.
I'm telling you, their faces, they just couldn't stop. And they says, listen man, Islam is not a place. I'm like, what is it then? They said, that's the name of our religion. And I was mortified. I was so embarrassed. They said, Islam is a religion and we are Muslims.
Yes.
There is Christianity and you're a Catholic or you're a Christian.
Yes,
I was like,
yes.
okay.
Big learning curve. Big learning curve.
The light goes on.
Yeah.
I said, right guys, alhamdulillah. Thanks for letting me know.
I don't think so, alhamdulillah.
No, I'm saying alhamdulillah. By alhamdulillah. Yeah, by habit,
Yeah, because they're all around them all the time.
Exactly. So from these two guys, I then met their friends and their friends and their
so it
friends.
snowballed from there. Yeah.
So they said, listen, there's a sheikh coming from America and he's going to give a talk about heaven and hell if you'd like to come. I'm like, yeah, man.
Especially like that
I'm
stuff.
on that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
The unseen, the strange stuff.
Of course. Yeah.
Dramatic.
So I went and one of the concert halls in Glasgow, they used that as the venue.
Yeah.
Huge place. It can seat, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds.
Wow.
And I went in and I think I was the only white guy there.
Amazing.
And I'm sitting like, I don't know what to expect, who is the guy? And actually
Exactly.
he was an American convert.
There you go. Another white guy.
I forgot his name.
That's okay, no problem.
So here,
Yeah,
someone-
another white guy. Did you connect straight away? Another white guy?
It helped.
Yeah.
It did help because again, everyone around me is Pakistani.
Yeah.
And to see a white guy up there, I was like,
Yeah.
well, okay, someone I can relate to,
That's good.
So he's talking about heaven. I'm thinking, wow, I really like the sound of that.
Yes.
I want some of that,
Yeah.
And then he spoke about hell. So, even the minor punishment, stand on a piece of coal and it's so hot that your brain
Will boil.
just boils. And I thought, that's minor.
Subhanallah.
I thought, I don't want any of that. I don't care how minor it is, I just do not want any of that in my life.
Subhanallah. See the fitrah? See the
Really?
fitrah? I mean, there are a lot of people who, even in the Muslim community, who understand there is heaven and hell and know a little bit about this, but they are so distant. They're so distant from their creator, from their religion, that it doesn't have an impact.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you're very close in your fitrah, knowing the small minute details, it hits you.
Yeah,
And
so
it makes
much.
an impression. And it gears you in a way. Like it's a choice. You be on this side or this side. Make the choice. A simple choice.
Yeah, exactly.
SubhanAllah.
So I really enjoyed that talk, and it really, from that day, it really got me thinking. But thinking about my own religion, I thought, these guys are all Muslim. Not all of them, but there are a good few who are, they're practicing Islam.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm a Catholic, but I'm a bad Catholic. I don't do anything, I don't even go to church anymore, or mass anymore. So the following Sunday after that talk, I said, I'm going to mass.
That's it. Go back.
I'm
Become
going back.
religious.
I'm
Revive
going
yourself
I
again.
said, I am going to become a good Catholic.
a good role model.
Yeah,
That's it.
So I went to mass and I sat near the front row. And for the whole hour, I was looking at my watch.
Subhanallah.
And I was like,
Not even listen to a word.
I couldn't.
In
I
one
couldn't
ear, out the
take
other.
it in. I really couldn't take it in. I thought, this is completely different to this religion that these guys have got. This is, I couldn't even make a comparison, you know, I'm thinking, when is this guy going to finish? And alhamdulillah, he did finish. And from that day I thought, this is not for me. This is not, personally, I can't take anything from this. I'm not going to benefit. So then I went back to my friends. Guys, do you have any books? They're like, we can get you some books.
They weren't ready for it.
Because again, the friends I met initially, they weren't very practicing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But you know, I can show you my friend, and he knows a lot. You can ask him. You can. I thought,
No, you want the proof. You want the source.
I said, just give me someone, man. Just give me books. Give me.
You're an
anything.
academic too. You want to read the stuff. You know?
Exactly. You know. So I had so many books, and by this point, my mum knew that all my friends were
Muslim.
Pakistani.
She's seen the picture.
So she saw all these books in my room. She's like, "Why have you got all these books about Islam?" I says, "Well, my friends are Muslim, you know, and I'm learning. I've been asking questions. I've got these books, and I think I might become Muslim." She's like, "All right, whatever."
Another trend. He's doing something else different.
Exactly.
New fashion.
You know,
He'll grow
it's
out
a
of
phase.
it. He'll grow out of it.
And I says, "No, actually, I'm getting serious because I've been speaking to them for quite some time now, and I mean, for about 2.5 years, I was in the process of reading and speaking to guys and stuff. And again, she probably thought it was just a phase. She wasn't expecting me. She said, "But why do you want to be Pakistani?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to be Pakistani. Just my friends are Pakistani and they're Muslim. I want to be a Muslim."
Good.
You know.
Good.
She was like, even myself, at the beginning, I was like, "Oh, my friends are Pakistani, Islam." When I found out what Islam actually was, it wasn't actually a country.
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, you know, it's this Pakistani religion." And my friends were like, "You know, it's actually not a religion, it's a way of life."
Yes. Yes.
And I was like, "Oh." And when he said that, I thought, I like the sound of this, you know.
That's
He
good.
said, from the minute you wake up, you're constantly thinking of God, you know. There's small prayers you can say when you wake up, when you go to the toilet, when you leave the toilet. I'm thinking, so you're always in connection with God somehow. They said, "Yeah." And even we're praying, you know, we pray 5 times a day. I say, "Yeah, I've seen you praying a few times. Can I come and watch?" They're like,
Good.
Come. And I was like, "Oh, this is so cool." I was getting involved in the group.
Yeah.
Oh, I just really, I'm even getting goosebumps thinking about it again.
Mashallah.
So yeah, so over the period of about 2.5 years, I was trying to live like a Muslim without actually being a Muslim.
Yeah, like testing the grounds.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
can I do this? Am I cut out to live life as a Muslim?
Yeah.
So again, at that time in college, all my friends were mixed, guys and girls mixed. You know,
Yes.
so I'm speaking to guys, I'm speaking to girls about Islam, and even the sisters as well. Mashallah, you know, they were really
Positive, huh?
yeah, they were really helpful, giving me books as well.
That's good.
So yeah, so over a period of about 2.5 years, I stopped eating pork. Tried to even eat halal food when I could.
Yeah, good.
Saying mashallah, and my friends were like, "Kari, you say more Islamic words than we do."
You're teaching them.
To some of them, I was. Yeah, this is, and some of them
Like
actually.
Dr. Jamal. Jamal was teaching his friends, remember?
Exactly.
Before, like that, yeah.
So they asked me some questions. I'm thinking, you're actually asking me a
About
question about
Islam?
Islam? Kari, can we eat this food? And I was like, "Oh wow." So alhamdulillah, you know,
good.
I visited some of the mosques. Alhamdulillah, in Glasgow, there's maybe, I don't know how many there are these days, but at that time there were about more than 10 mosques.
Good. And from different cultural groups, maybe in the, like I said, the
Mainly
Indian,
Pakistani.
Pakistani.
Mainly Pakistani in
okay.
Glasgow, yeah.
No, no Arab centres?
Nah,
Asian? No Asian?
Turkish.
No? Turkish? Nothing?
nah,
Mainly Pakistani,
mainly
subcontinent.
Yeah.
Okay. So when was the change? I mean, you're in there, you're experiencing it, you're being part of it. When did you do that final jump? What made you do the final jump, and how did it happen?
So I knew myself it was coming closer, but it was just a question of when do I do it. So I had, at that time I was involved in a twin town association.
Yeah.
So my town and a town in France. And as a teenager I had gone to the same family so many times. And the final time I went, I had been in touch, and I told the host family, I said, listen, I've changed my eating habits now, and I only eat chicken. 'Cause I don't eat pork anymore. The host mother, she's like, Paul, my name was Paul before. Paul, what's wrong with you? Why have you changed your eating? I says, just, become a vegetarian. And I'm going to try and cut it out bit by bit.
Why choose the other ones?
Exactly, So I would have accepted Islam before I did, but the host mother had told me, she goes, I've bought you all this chicken, you're going to love it when you come. So I thought, I don't want to go to her house as a Muslim. She's bought me all this food, and I can't actually eat this food anymore.
Yeah.
So that was actually the reason I held off for an extra week.
Okay.
So I went to France, I ate all this chicken that she'd bought me. I came back to Glasgow, and my best friend, we were going to work one day. I said, listen man, I think it was a Tuesday. I said, on Friday, it's going to be time. He's like, what are you talking about? I says, it's time. He's like, time for work? We're going to work now. I said, no, not time for work. It's time to accept Islam. He's like, wait, are you sure? I said, listen man, don't ask me if I'm sure. I said, I've been sure for the last, I don't know how long, but now it's actually time. He's like,
Alhamdulillah.
okay, he says, okay, right. And he was like, all serious all of a sudden. He's like, okay.
It's new to him, yeah.
He's like, I didn't think you were actually going to do it. I says, well, I did. I knew it was going to happen.
Alhamdulillah.
So on the Friday, I went to Jummah, and it's Central Mosque in Glasgow. I'd been there so many times before. I'd spoken to the Imam himself as
You'd
well.
already learned how to pray and do everything.
I didn't actually know I knew about the prayer, but I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know what to do. That was something, actually, as I was reading all the books, when I read about the prayer, 4 rak'ah, 2 rak'ah.
But not actually how to do it.
I just can't understand it. I'm thinking, what is 4 what? I mean, I just don't understand it. So I went to the mosque. I sat at the back of the mosque. I watched them all praying Jummah. And then after the prayer, I kind of mingled with them, and I sat and this guy's going to accept Islam, this guy's going to accept Islam. So the Imam, he announced it. He said, okay, one of the brothers is going to, one of the guys is going to accept Islam, become a brother. So I went to his office with a few of my friends. And he said, oh yeah, I remember you, I've spoken to you before. He said, I don't have to tell you the basics, I know you know the basics. I said, yeah. He said, so today's the day? I was like, alhamdulillah, today's the day. He said, you can say the Shahada, or I can say it and you can repeat it after me. I said, I prefer you to say it. You say it and then I don't want to make a mistake, so you repeat it and you say it and I'll repeat it. So he said it, and as I'm saying it, the sweat is pouring from my hands, my heart is pounding.
Why?
I'm also saying to myself at the same time, this is it, there's no going back.
Alhamdulillah.
This is it, my life is going to change, I'm going to be a new person.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
And then 15, 20 seconds, khalas.
It was done.
And
Welcome, you're in.
That's what it was like. I was like, wow, I'm part of something now.
MashaAllah.
I've been trying to live like a Muslim, but it was just superficial,
If you compared that moment, and from that time onwards, even just a few days or moments after that, to your life before it, in a balance, how would it go?
It's a good question. Just as I was saying it, straight away, I can't actually explain how I felt. I've never actually, until this day, I haven't actually experienced the same feeling.
It's only once in
it really
a
is.
lifetime. But did you feel like, let's say, an awakening, a revival, a clear purpose, a huge, let's say, deeper meaning that has been fulfilled?
Life was going to change for the better, because obviously now I had a real connection with God.
Alhamdulillah.
Because again, the 2 years learning about Islam, I knew the Muslims' connection with Allah.
Alhamdulillah.
But because I wasn't a Muslim, I couldn't make that connection.
Yes.
But as soon as I said Shahada, I thought, wow, now it's my turn.
Yes.
Now I can connect as much as I want.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. It's almost a relief.
It is, yes.
Because before, as a Catholic, if I had any problem, not problems, you have to go to confession. You've got to say, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been 5 years since my last confession.
In the moment too, you have to use this mediator to discuss your sins and your personal problems.
And you're young as well when you first do it. I remember when I made my first confession. It's quite a big event for Catholics, and And I'm thinking, well, what do I say? And sometimes my mum, she said, okay, come on, today it's time for confession. I thought, oh God, again? What have I done? I hit my brother. I'm trying to think of things to say, you know.
Can't get anything bad. You're gonna get something like this.
Exactly. I said something bad to my mum.
Yeah, that's about it.
I'm like, when you're young, you don't actually know what a sin really is.
Exactly right.
You know, like, what is a sin when you're
And in
young?
our religion, in Islam, I mean, the young children are free from that, exempted until they're of an age of understanding.
Exactly, you know.
So, yeah.
So becoming a Muslim, and obviously learning about it along the way, I thought, wow, man, as soon as my head is on the ground, I can just open my heart and just say whatever I want. You know, I don't have to think, is this a sin? Am I telling you, am I making up this sin, or is it a real sin? It doesn't matter. Just whatever you feel. If you think you've wronged yourself or someone else in any way, just say, listen, I think I've done something wrong here. You know.
And then you're learning how to pray. You're learning how to do everything else after that.
So after I accepted, I went back to the books again, and the book I had read so many times about the prayer.
It all came together.
Oh, it didn't. I thought, why tune up? It was weird.
Amazing.
The day before I read it, I couldn't understand it. I accepted Islam, and it was just pure.
Wow.
I
Like,
thought, alhamdulillah, man, this is.
Mashallah,
I completely
mashallah,
understand this.
mashallah,
and
Yeah, Allah gives you
mashallah.
understanding in you.
Really?
Mashallah. You're home now. You've accepted Islam. You're home. You're a new person. Does your mum see you as a new person?
So the day I accepted Islam, that morning, I said to her, I said, listen, today's the day. She's like, oh God, for the day for what? I was like, today I'm going to become Muslim. She's like, okay, you go, and tonight when you come home, we'll see. So I came home, and she knew that I liked the name Abdurrahim.
Mashallah.
So I came home, and she heard the door opening, and she's like, oi, Abdur, come here. And I was like, And she said, so, did it happen? I said, yeah, I must. So she can look to me up and down.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm not going to change.
Same
I'm still the
person.
same person. you
Same
know?
person.
She said, where's your rug? You can put your rug next to the carpet. Sorry, next to the fire, you know. I said, that's a prayer mat. It's not a rug just for decoration.
yeah.
Exactly, you know. And she's like, okay, on you go. But you know, I don't know if she thought it was serious, but I think she was taking it in jest, you know. She's like, oh, yeah, he's a Muslim, okay, whatever. But then she saw me praying in my room, and when it came to food in the house, came to eating, alhamdulillah, you know, she went out her way to buy me vegetarian burgers.
Mashallah,
Because
mashallah.
in our town there was no halal places.
Mashallah, mashallah.
Uh,
The mercy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps even amongst family members
Serious.
when you worship and practice in the right way too. Even they can be on a different faith and belief and understanding. Just
exactly.
that mercy.
you know.
It's amazing, subhanAllah.
She bought me fish, tuna.
Mashallah.
Can you eat this? Can you eat that?
Mashallah.
You can go to the halal shops yourself and you can buy the food and I'll cook it for you.
Mashallah.
So alhamdulillah.
So accommodating.
Really,
Were you making a lot of dua at this time as well too?
I can't remember, to be honest. I don't know.
Okay.
Because for me, Islam is completely new for me.
Okay, yeah,
You know.
yeah. You're trying to be part of it
Exactly.
and not think about the bigger picture.
That's it,
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, yeah.
My dad, he had become a born-again Christian at that point.
Okay.
So when he found out I was Muslim, it's like,
Jump up and down a bit.
why don't you come with me to the church? And I was like, I can't, you know. I was like,
The chapter's closed.
I said, you know, don't make any decisions yet. I said, well, it's kind of late. I'm already Muslim. You know, and you decided to become born-again Christian from Catholic.
Yes.
I've decided to become Muslim from Catholic, you know. So in the beginning, he used to ask me some questions, even about Abraham. He said, you know, so what do you believe about Abraham? And at that point, I had really no idea.
Yeah.
You know, I studied the basics of Islam, but who people were and stuff, I really had no idea.
It's a huge ocean of knowledge.
I mean, even to this day,
Yeah.
I've been Muslim for 13 years now, and even this from this program,
We're
I've
learning heaps.
heard things I haven't heard before at all.
So,
You know.
very true, very true.
Actually, just to go back a bit, speaking about Abraham, when I was speaking to my friends in the initial stages, before I had books and stuff, they asked me, do you believe Jesus is God? I said, to be honest, I don't really know who Jesus is. I don't know what he is. Is he the Son of God? Is he God? I don't really know. They said, well, for us, he's a prophet. And when they said that, I thought, prophet, what do you mean prophet? They said, well, you know, like Adam and Eve. I said, wait, Adam and Eve? What do you mean Adam and Eve? We believe in Adam and Eve. They said, so do we. I said, but you can't, because you're Muslim. You know? They said, yeah, we believe in Adam and Eve, and Noah, and Moses, and Abraham, and Jesus. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean? How? Because they're our people. I just couldn't make the connection, you know.
Yeah, see.
And that was also another thing that really made me think, you know, they said, look, Jesus, we believe Jesus is a prophet.
Yes.
And when he said that, I thought, oh, that is so easy to understand. Really, that just clears up so much
The
misunderstanding.
pieces fit now.
It does.
The pieces
That's the
fit.
thing.
The
You know, it
pieces
really
fit.
did.
And it's from the scripture itself too, I mean, from the Bible, in the New Testament and the Old Testament. Just the consecutive sequence of the prophets, the way they worshipped, the way they performed,
Yes, sir.
their deeds. They led their people into guidance. They fought evil as human beings. They lived, they ate, they slept. You know, they did all those things as well too. They
So
faced
much.
persecution as people.
Yeah,
And it just fits in system, you know, in the system.
it really did. And seeing him as a man, an actual man,
Yes.
you know,
A great man.
with a very important job.
Yes.
That's just what I said. He's a man he's a man with a mission. You
Mashallah.
know, I thought I can really relate to that. I can accept that so easy. And then and then after Jesus, we have another prophet. I was like, oh, who's this guy? Muhammad. I said, Muhammad. I said, no, I don't know this one. I don't think we've got this one in our religion. He says, no, you won't have. And I says, so tell me. I say, yeah, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he is the final messenger. Then explained his role. I thought, wow, I like this. This is a cool story. You know, you can see
Yeah,
who
sequence.
comes after who comes after who, and then the final one. And his final role is not just for Muslims, he is for everyone. You know, because we as Catholics think Jesus is just for Catholics.
Yes, yes.
But he didn't even come to the Catholics, he
No,
came to the
the
Jews.
Jews.
You know?
How did that happen?
Exactly, you know. So to see that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, came for everyone, anyone who
From
wants
his
to
time
listen
the
to
end of
him
mankind, yeah.
can accept
Yeah.
Islam. I thought, wow. So that was part of the process
Excellent, yeah.
of when I was learning, you know.
That's a really good clarification because it's half of the declaration of faith. It's not just a small part of the religion. It's actually half of you being a Muslim, understanding that concept that the Prophet Muhammad is the messenger and his path is salvation. You know, some people think that only knowing Allah is Islam. No, that's the other half.
Exactly.
Those two pieces
You know.
go together.
Actually, one of the first things my mum said to me as well, after she'd accepted that I'd become Muslim, she's like, oh yeah, so now you believe in the moon god. I thought, what on earth does that mean? I'll never forget. I mean, maybe she herself can't remember her saying this. But she said, yeah, now you believe in the moon god. And I thought, I've never heard that in my life. Where would you even hear something like that? I says, no. I says, that's a crazy idea, you know. I don't know if it's because Islam uses the lunar calendar.
Oh, is that negative propaganda?
Yeah,
You know,
perhaps.
negative propaganda.
But she doesn't know anyone who's Muslim. She was the only Muslim that I knew.
Not just
I
that.
was the only Muslim that she knew. Sorry.
Even in encyclopedias, if you look it up, it writes it into there. Like the Funk and Wagnalls, remember the old series?
Okay.
Those ones like Britannica, the old ones,
Yeah,
really old ones.
Britannica,
Yeah.
You don't find any like a society or family that was against you become Muslim?
Yeah, and antagonism. Any antagonism?
Negative.
No.
Masha, you had a very receptive environment. a
Alhamdulillah,
very
yeah.
receptive environment.
I think because it was so unknown. I mean, September 11th. Okay, I became in 2003. Yeah, I accepted in 2003. So Muslims weren't much in the media at that time, you know. And again, from a small town, we knew nothing about Islam. Again, I thought Islam was a country,
Yes,
you know. So it just shows how little we actually.
Is that how everyone in Scotland is? Is that how people are?
Just generally ignorant.
They're not against Islam, or is it?
They just don't know. Yeah, they just don't know about
So they
it.
could accept it, obviously.
Yeah. Again, at that time, Islam wasn't in the media so much as these days, obviously for the wrong reasons, unfortunately. But still, the word Islam is like it's completely alien. So to say I'm Muslim is like, what does that even mean? What? How are you different from me if you're a Muslim? You know. So again, telling my mum that actually no, we don't believe in it. I believe in the exact same. Who do you pray to? I pray to God. hello, so do I. It's the exact same God.
Only
She
difference
said,
is
but you have
that-
a different name. I said, yeah. I said, forget the name. The being, you know, Allah, you know, is. I said, we use the Arabic word. She said, oh, okay. So it's not a moon god? I said, no, it's not a moon god, you know. And again, my dad, he was trying to ask me some questions, and I really didn't have the answers. I didn't have a clue.
Well, you didn't make it up, which is a good thing. You're honest, you're sincere.
Yeah, I said, listen, I said, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yes.
And for a long time we didn't. We'd never discussed religion for a long time, actually. And even with Mum, I didn't really speak much to her about Islam at all. Islam is for me, you know, me and my friends, and she saw it as Paul and his Pakistani religion, you know.
New stage in life, new phase.
Exactly, you know,
Yeah.
I think she was waiting for it just
To grow out.
to pass by. But then she saw me praying, and then when Ramadan came, she said, wait, you're going to wake up during the night, you're going to have something to eat, and then you're not going to eat until the sun goes down? I says, yeah. Oh, you're weird. You're just weird. I can't understand this religion of yours. You know, why you... And then she said, why can't you be normal and go and have a drink like the rest of us? I said, be normal, like the rest of... You know,
Humanity, yeah.
Exactly, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, go and have a drink is being normal? I said, I didn't, even before I was Muslim, I didn't drink.
There you
know.
go. There you go.
Alhamdulillah, Allah made that
Alhamdulillah.
for me so easy. Didn't drink, didn't smoke.
Alhamdulillah.
So that aspect, alhamdulillah, there's no issue.
It leads into a good point. Your family is seeing you now. This is, it was Paul before, and now it's Abdurrahim in Islam. Did they see changes in you? And more important, did they see positive changes in you because of your religion?
It's hard to say. They never actually commented on any change they may have seen. I mean, the obvious change is the prayer.
Yes.
And to say, oh, now he's praying, and again, and again. Wait, why are you praying so many times?
So you're disciplined. That's what discipline is.
Yeah, perhaps I. Because I mean, for them, my mum by that point had stopped going to mass.
Okay.
But to see me, I had left mass.
Yes.
But now all of a sudden I'm 5 times a day, not just once.
More disciplined than before.
Exactly, you know.
Sincerity.
And my food,
And
you know,
sincerity.
I could only eat certain
Yeah,
things.
discipline again.
And she saw that, she was like, whoa.
It's serious, it's not drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's not, I mean, alcohol again wasn't the issue for me.
And what about, I mean, the other habits of teenagers, lying, you know, hiding secrets and doing those type of things too, maybe, you know, vulgarizing in
Yeah.
certain ways. Did they see those things change?
I don't know if it actually changed so much that way, because again, when you live amongst Muslims, you're affected by them. And when I was in college, the Muslim friends I had were also affected.
A good
But-
example?
You know, like in like lying.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
Muslims like
it's
to
normal.
say
It's
it's
normal.
Teenagers
It's normal. It's
especially.
normal. So for me, it was normal also.
It's haram, wouldn't you?
Again?
You wouldn't have known that it's haram.
No, exactly. Yeah. If I had seen someone say, if I'd heard someone say, "Come on, you know, you shouldn't lie,"
It's not good kind.
I thought, well, why? Because Muslims don't lie. Oh, really? We don't. Oh, okay. But everyone's involved in it, you know. So you're kind of desensitized to certain things.
Yeah.
Even free mixing.
Yes.
I know in some cultures it's accepted,
Yes.
and in Glasgow, the Pakistani youth, Muslim youth in general, because I mean, now these days there are more Muslims than just Pakistanis. Free mixing is normal. You
Common
know?
ground, yeah.
It's my brother, it's my sister. It's why shouldn't I be mixing with them? You know.
Yes.
So again, certain aspects of religion you can overlook,
Okay.
and because I was new Muslim,
Exactly.
I was just going with the flow. With most of them, you know, I was a new Muslim, but at the same time, I didn't know enough to change myself and to change those around me at that point.
Ignorance, because there wasn't the
Exactly.
knowledge around, and they weren't practicing people to lead by examples as well. Too.
Yeah.
And you moved on in life. You got married.
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
Yeah.
So a year after I accepted Islam,
That must have been a big move for your parents to see you getting married and choosing to settle down.
yeah, actually, what happened was before I became Muslim, on the run-up in those 2 years, there was a website designed for non-Muslims who were interested in Islam. I don't even know how I came across this website.
Amazing.
Again, for me, internet was new at that time.
Yeah.
So internet and Islam came more or less hand in hand. So I knew Islam wasn't a country, it was a religion. So I started Islamic websites, and I found it's a kind of pen pal thing. I said I mentioned before I was involved in pen pals. It was a kind of pen pal website thing. So I left a small kind of introduction. My name is Paul, I'm a Catholic, I'm interested in Islam. If you have any information, please get in touch. I must have received emails from every Muslim country and non-Muslim country around the world.
Amazing.
Hundreds, literally hundreds of emails I received. And I received so many I couldn't even reply.
Amazing.
So I replied once or twice, and some girls, oh, you're not Muslim, would you like to marry me? I thought, I don't even know who you are. Why would I want to marry you? You know? So I just delete. I accepted Islam, and then a year later, I received an email from the same website. It had been a long time. It had actually probably been a year since I had received anything. Huge email, really, really long email. And it wasn't like a copy and paste effort, it was an actual thought out.
Properly.
Yeah. I thought, wow. So this person introduced themselves. I just read your introduction, you know, I'd be more than happy to help you learn about Islam. I'm Muslim, I'm a born Muslim. I thought, wow. So I replied and I said, thanks very much. I said, alhamdulillah, I'm actually Muslim. I've been Muslim for a year now. I said, but I really would appreciate any help you've got. You know, I've still got so many questions I've got to ask. And the end of the email, it was just the initial of the first and the second name. There was no mention of I'm a guy, I'm a girl, or
Gender
nothing.
or anything, no. Yes.
So at the end of my email, I said, by the way, are you a guy or you're a girl? And I got a reply, I'm a girl from a Pakistani family in London. I thought, wow, cool. So for long enough, we were emailing back and forth, just solely Islam. I never once mentioned anything about private life or what I was doing, you know. And at the same time, I was reading a book, The Muslim Marriage Guide.
Yes.
Really good book. So as a one-year-old Muslim, obviously all your friends are speaking about marriage. And I'm thinking, marriage, well, there's something new. I never really thought about that much. But from my friends, I was hearing, you know, our families want us to marry Pakistanis. And I'm thinking, well, I'm not Pakistani, so how am I supposed to get married? I only know Pakistani Muslims, you know. Oh, right, okay. So I went back to the email, and I said, you know, I've got this book I'm reading, and it's a really good book, and if you're interested, I'll send you a copy. And she said, yeah, I'm interested. I'll send it. So I posted her a copy. We can actually send a book via the post, not even a PDF, as a hard copy, you know. So I sent the book, and she read it, and we're discussing chapters from the book via email.
That's good.
And I mentioned at the same time, I said, you know, all the Muslims I know here are Pakistani, and they want to marry into Pakistani families. She said, well, my family, you know, alhamdulillah, my family, they're open as long as the guy is a practicing Muslim.
Bing.
And I thought,
You said that on purpose, didn't you?
I didn't. No, actually, I didn't at that time. I was. The idea did not come to my head at all. But when she said that, she said, you know, when my family wants me to marry, because I knew she was Pakistani, and I thought, well, Pakistanis in Glasgow want to marry Pakistanis. I'm sure she wants to marry a Pakistani as well.
Cultural trend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But when she said, actually, no, my family wants me to marry a practicing Muslim, doesn't matter where he's from.
Mashallah.
Then the ding happened. I thought,
That's alright.
you're not married. I'm not married.
I know you. You sound good. You sound decent.
We'd been emailing back and forth
Exactly.
for a few months
Right.
at this point, you know.
And on good grounds, not on immoral grounds or anything else.
I hadn't even seen a picture of her.
Amazing.
We hadn't even sent each other
That's
a
pretty
picture,
good. That's
you
a
know?
big trust. SubhanAllah.
It was, you know, because from the emails she was sending me, I knew she knew her stuff. She knew Islam.
And you're choosing her for her religion, not for her looks.
Purely.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah, mashallah, tabarakallah.
Alhamdulillah. You know.
This is a good lesson for all the brothers and sisters out there too. You know, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
So,
you know, he recommended and he encouraged us to marry for religious belief, not for wealth, not for looks, which are important.
of course.
Not the key thing. The key thing is belief. And SubhanAllah. You know.
Because this book that I was talking about, before I started reading it, if she was Muslim, by name that was enough. Again, I was new Muslim. As long as she was Muslim, I didn't really care much about her. But after I read the book and read the hadith, you should marry a woman for her religion before anything else.
MashaAllah.
So I'm reading this, and I'm discussing the same topics with this religious girl, and I thought, yeah, really,
It's pretty.
this seems like a match, you know?
How did you make the proposal online?
Yeah, I had, yeah.
You didn't get a point to starting to call.
We hadn't spoken. How do you hear her voice?
Wow.
Just pure email, just back and forth email, you know? So,
Were her parents aware that you were communicating?
No.
So it was like pretty private on her side.
yeah. So, afterward, kind of agreed, like, okay, you're not married, I'm not married. Would you be interested in getting married? Would it be a possible match? We both kind of, it was a mutual agreement.
Mashallah,
You know, it was kind of both at the
It's
same
just happening,
time.
it's happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was happening just before our eyes, you know.
Yeah, mashallah.
So then-
Qadarullah.
It really is, you know, when you really put your trust in Allah,
SubhanAllah.
things happen without you even expecting anything to.
Don't have education. And what they did is they completely destroyed the education system after the country changed.